Hello and good evening. You are watching the Policy Times, world's first policy and development media. We have been organizing regular programs in our channel through YouTube and Facebook to bring different experts from different parts of the world to discuss on many of the practical policy and non-policy practical issues. Now, among many other issues, we felt in our last discussion that we have millions of Indians residing abroad, whether they are, in the format of OIC or NRIs or any different formats. Now, these people often, so it's not that the picture is glossy always, many of them often feel many legal hardships and also many financial hardships. I personally have encountered many Indian businessmen having issues in Malaysia, having issues in Middle East, having issues in other European countries. Maybe some of their consignments have reached, but the party is not paying them back. So like this, there are many other kind of challenges, like many students studying abroad, but somehow they got some legal issues facing there. Now they are absolutely helpless in those circumstances. Here I have two individuals who have been, while achieving enough milestones personally and professionally in Middle East, they have launched something very unique, and we felt let us hear them out and take their voice to a lot of people in our network so that more and more people can benefit. So we today will address how a lot of overseas Indians face challenges, what are the kind of challenges, and how we can rescue them legally as well as financially. I want to welcome and introduce Advocate Sabu, who is the Senior Legal Advisor in one of the leading law firms in Abu Dhabi, and also the founder of A to Z group of companies. With him, his marketing manager, the designation. We have Mr. Dinesh Sathian, who is the marketing manager of A to Z group of company. So I would like to welcome them first. And I'll first request both of our speakers to kindly give a short introduction about yourself, your professional journey, your success and achievements, and then later on we'll start the discussion. So I'll first request Advocate Sabu to kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akram. And I first of all, appreciate the effort has been taken by the Policy Times, and as a leader and the chief editor of the Policy Times, it's a noble effort to give maximum effort to the public to give some information and for their life, business, and career. And it is also touching with the technology, education, healthcare, and bring more business or investment to India. What I understand the basic requirement and the policy behind Policy Times. And personally, I am an Indian qualified lawyer, and I am in the profession for the last 27 years. And for the last 15 years, I am in the UAE and practicing as a corporate and commercial lawyer, means a legal consultant. And also we have a group of companies to support the people and the business people as well as the common people. That is, we are delivering some of the small and higher end service to the group who are targeted to get in touch with us and to achieve more in their life, career, and profession. So we are to some extent correlated in some extent of service, though we are also in the practice and doing some activities as well. And I'm also, I think I have explained, I am also was a journalist to some extent to do the legal reporting back in my home country during the 2007 and 6 period. So thank you so much again, and inviting us to the big platform and to sharing our thought and views to help to explain the hardship, what exactly the people are suffering in the Middle East, especially in the UAE and as well. And I hope that we will be splitting the part. The initial part of the personal matters will be touching with Mr. Dinesh, and the rest of the legal matters, how it will be affecting the public and the individuals will be delivering from my side. Thank you so much for again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Advocate Sabu, for the success you have achieved, and also many congratulations.
Thank you,
Especially
sir.
the whole Kerala, and also Happy Onam, which has recently been concluded. So I'll come to Dineshji. Dineshji, a brief introduction, and then we'll discuss. We'll start the discussion.
Thank you so much, Akramji. Thank you for giving a wonderful opportunity to introduce ourselves and also our services. See, during this pandemic situation, it's a blessing, like, people getting chances to discuss from far away and share their thoughts. So this is a blessing, I believe, because if the pandemic situation is not there, people always prefer to meet direct and discuss and attend meetings and all big conferences, and also nowadays all the conference on this platform. So about me, myself, I'm basically from the hospitality and tourism background, for having experience in the industry about 20 years. Most of the Indian states I worked at the beginning. Later came to Oman. In Oman also from 2007 I was there in the hospitality and tourism sector. And also the same time I was doing freelance marketing, and slowly full time I am with the A to Z group of companies, corporate debts solutions and personal debt solutions. I am looking after that sector. Being in the Gulf countries, I have experienced, I have met many people, those who are struggling and those who are enjoying. There are two sectors always. Even there are very few people here next in the Gulf countries as well. Still, economically, the pandemic lockdown have not affected. Very few there, but most of people have problems. So we really intend to discuss about the people, those who are facing struggles in economically and other in health and all the sectors. So we again thanking you for this opportunity, and also the Policy Times doing a service is a kind of service and support for the people, those who are not reaching to the solutions. So every day, every week, you have different subjects. So which is different sectors people can reach out. So thank you so much. This is about me. So we'll go ahead with the subjects maybe first.
Thank you so much, Dineshji. Now I'll come to the subject. The subject is how overseas Indians are facing hardship in different parts of the world, whether they are financial or legal, and how are we fighting them back? How are they really fighting it? What kind of support system are there abroad? I know and I understand there are a lot of organizations like overseas Indian organizations, NRI bodies, and organizations. So I want to know, maybe I'll start with Dineshji first, then Advocate Sabu can give the legal perspective to it. So kindly, Dineshji.
Thanks again, Akramji. Actually, the relation between India and UAE, it's very old. Even during the British time, there was relation. And I think till 1966, if you talk about the economy, till 1966 in the Gulf countries, mainly in UAE and all, they were using the Indian currency. Indian rupee was the currency here. So the economic relation was very old. And also, the population in the United Arab Emirates. So as we are here, I'm talking about the UAE. The total population is about 9.9 million. Out of that, about 88% is expatriates. Only 11% is the local population. So from that 88, 27, 28% are Indian expatriates. It's a huge number. It's a huge number. So that's why everywhere you go supermarket, if you go any entertainment centers, anywhere, you find a lot of Indians around us. See, mainly after that oil developments came, a lot of technical experts and even non-skilled people, unskilled people also came into the country. and they were really contributed to the country, and also the country itself, the government, the authorities, they also giving good facilities for the people to come here and also work here and earn much, and also the facilities, infrastructures also, they also keep upgrading, like for the families and schools and every facilities. So comparatively, UAE is one of the best place for the migrants to live and work and do their own business, entrepreneurship. So government is extending a lot of opportunities. So it was going on very good. Even after the 2008 recession, so people again, start saving much, and very consciously people spend again, slowly. So things are changing, everything is smooth, or more people came into the entrepreneurship, and also it was going on very smooth. So unfortunately, this pandemic situation came, so everything came upside down. So a lot of people, even me myself, I stuck up in India for about 10 months, 8 to 9 months, like stuck up in India. So I held up. So I was one of the first quarantine people in my place. It was 28 days I was in quarantine, and it was it was very strange for people that for the first time, even people doesn't know what to do and how to handle it. Even our generation or a generation just before us, we never seen such a lockdown scenario in our life. So everywhere was, people were totally stuck up and totally, don't know what to do, how to handle it. So a lot of people, they from the country been sent to India, back to their countries for long leaves. So they are seeing that companies are thinking maybe 1 month or 2 months, so things will be okay. So after that, things will be cleared, and we can call this people like that. So everyone having each and every sectors, people had problems with the income sources. So I have a small presentation. I'll just share it with my screen about the debts people facing. Okay, so I think. Okay. See, but the personal debts mainly in the country, most of you see personal loan, vehicle loans, and credit cards. It's very easy for people, very less documentation and less formalities here for if somebody working in a secured company, having an average salary. So it's compared with our country, our place, for less formalities and less documentations and quick process. So people always, if we are working with a secured company, definitely most of people, they have a personal loan, otherwise vehicle loan, even at least they will have a credit cards. So these are very common here. So during this time, many people had a job loss, salary reduction, health issues, and other financial problems and all. So most of the people lost their job. They have been sent back to India, or so they don't know. Say no, it's happening immediately. Maybe the end of service, the benefits, everything will be sucked by the bank. Even balance will be remaining. So people don't know. So many people had heavy stress on this, and then the collection agents, the banks and finance companies, they hand over the cases to the collection agents. Not the bank directly dealing. The collection agents, they are keep on calling. One day, 3-4 times they are calling, and they are threatening, and they visit to the places, the offices, and even back if they leave the country also, even they are not answering here, they will call the family back home in India. So these pressures, is too much. You might have read in the newspapers a lot of cases like youngsters, they are dying because of heart attacks. Many people committing suicide. So majority of these cases are because of the debts. Because of debts, and they don't know how to handle it, and there is no one there to support, because everyone have some kind of financial issues. So everyone's searching for the supports from others. So in followed that, there'll be criminal cases, the banks will put the criminal cases, and over the legal procedures, maybe Advocate Sabu will explain, and what all the consequences in the legal side comes, and he'll explain how to recover it. He'll explain. We always, what do we do? We have a system to give free consultation one time. If somebody facing the problems, so we give a free consultation, and we will advise according to their case which they are facing. When we advise them, we make them relax. This is what initially we intend. Like, we make them relax, and we always say that there's a solution. So we ourselves call it as its solution, because if you have a huge amount in front of you, and you are saying any of your friends or your relatives, they are not able to support that much huge amount is in front of you, and you stuck up and don't know what to do. That time we have a solution. What we do is, if somebody, there are 3-4 these things there. Like, if somebody stuck up back in India, so they cannot travel. If the bank put a case on them and they cannot travel, and travel ban is there, so we can make a power of attorney on behalf of them. We can approach the bank, we can discuss, and we can negotiate with the banks. And most of all the banks and finance companies, we have deals. So there are options, like we can negotiate with them. So maybe we can go for a settlement plan. One time, if they have a property or something, they can send the money, we can do that. Otherwise, a long-term settlement plan, the person is coming back to the country, and maybe he's here only joining for another job, and maybe on the less salary. So maybe we need a restructuring, and also less installments. These kind of options are there always. And fine implementation also we can go ahead with, because if they go for legal. So all these options are there. These are the solutions, but we normally prefer to give to the clients, those who recur. And the legal side of the personal debt issues can be explained by Advocate Sabu in detail. So after that, maybe we can go ahead with any FAQs there, any questions there, we can discuss with, I believe. Maybe better the legal part of the legal consequences are more people doesn't know. So this is much advisable.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dineshji, for outlining this and giving our viewers an objective and a presentation on how it is happening. So now I'll come to Advocate Sabu. Advocate Sabu, you have started something very unique, very different, because something like this, I don't know whether this exists or not. I'm sure in other countries there might be some kind of options, but this something, it has a noble cause behind it. There's a lot of people face problems, and we know that how when someone abroad who has no relative or no one, it's really very troublesome and very, very painful to go through that. So what was your vision? What was your thinking behind when you started this? And how do you see people responding to the initiative that you have taken? And how do you want to take this thing forward in future? Because I understand you already have a very good profession out there in Abu Dhabi. Now this will be another venture which will be, giving or meeting a separate objective. So yeah, over to you, Advocate Sabu. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Akram. And see, it is coming to the legal side. I think it will be better to give some impact on the basis of the experience as a social worker as well as a legal profession in the UAE. See, basically, I am also one of the consultant appointed by the government of Kerala, the NORCA department, and they are also giving a support to the people to give some guidance to them at least. And the Embassy of India is one of the main strategy on the diplomatic relation. If the people, they have no passport, or if there is no identity, on a diplomatic relation, the community wing of each embassy, Indian embassy, they help their people to help to resolve the issues without any hassle and without any cost to some extent. But some cases, it may not be easy to settle the matter if there is any financial matter involved. Recently, we have heard that one of the cases, Mr. Yusuf Ali has settled the huge amount to the court for one of the person for to pay the blood money, or due to the accident he cannot pay. Today also I got one of the newspaper cutting, and those 75 lakhs to be given by one of the person who made accidentally made an assault in a crane, and as per the law here, he has to pay the blood money. His aged widow, it is 75 years, and he is still begging to some of the mercy from the part of the either part. But since the financial amount is involved in this matter, nobody can support and help. If there is any legal issue or some other documentation part, embassy or some other people can help. These are the lot of issues are coming across. And like Mr. Dinesh has mentioned very clearly, that one of the most migrant people is from India and Asian countries. And they are also affecting a lot. And one of the conversation of the local says that, it is Indian language is a second language for Arab countries. They are highlighting in such a way. This is the people. This is we are also part of the culture from very ancient time, and still there is a good bondage. And the recent government is also giving more weightage, and diplomatic relation is more strengthened. It is a part of the social life. And coming to the resolution of the matters, the social organization, along with the government, the social organization also play a very good role. And each community, that may be a linguistic community or a region-based community, they form. And the government is also giving an opportunity to register a legal entity here to practice and support their wing. Indian Social Organization, Indian Ladies Association, in Kerala Social Center, Malayalam Association and Tamil Association, Hindi, Gujarat, a lot of associations there. There are 5 registered organizations. They are approved by the Ministry here. And they are also doing the regular audit, the election, and to do all the community supports. The people from the department usually visit the centers and give the frequent guidance. For the COVID situation also, they have given a lot. Likewise, the organization people, the community, the migrant community is also helping the nation a lot. This bondage is very big. By coming to the facts, this is a situation the people need a lot of help and support each other. And due to the current situation, the pandemic and the recession started, the financial conditions, to some extent, it is not good. And the people are losing their jobs, and they are also facing a lot of financial problems. And Mr. Dinesh has explained the financial part of an individual, but this is also to some extent same to SMEs and corporate sector. And since the corporate sectors are suffering this way, consequently it affects the individuals of even to the managers and to the skilled laborers as well. And the company owners also to some extent struggle. And as a part of our service also, we are helping the individual, and we are it is not even though we are an entity here, and we are doing some activity to some extent, we are doing a service to the people. For a credit card and personal debts, we are giving solutions, we are giving guidance, we are guiding support to the police, court, bank, and every places. And I think it will be better if I show something in related to the legal system. That also very important, I think. And apart from along with the legal part, we have to little bit understand about the constitution and the judicial system as well. I think it will be helpful for me if it make me the host. I can share some of the clippings if it is possible. Coming to the legal system, when a person approach the legal effort, coming to the debt collection, why I am asking to the debt collection and debt solution, the current scenario in the Middle East and apart almost all the places due to the COVID situation, the people are suffering with the deficiency of money one way or other way. And coming to the corporate sector, since Mr. Dinesh has explained the personal matter, I do not want to explain that much. And when a person coming to the debt collection part, when there is a failure from the part of the clients, and the client do the internal effort, then they outsource to a debt collection agency. Again, it's failed, then it goes to the litigation or the legal action part. And coming to the introduction, everybody knows that the 7 Emirates is comprising the United Arab Emirates, and it was formed in 1971. And it is one of the fast-growing economy and one of the safer place for investment. And most of the Indians and other nationals, they find a safer place for their residence, their investment, their profession, their education, and almost all the matter now it is available in the UAE, and it is the most unique way we will get all the supports. And when we are coming to the legal structures, it is always based on a constitution. UAE is also having a constitution, and the legal system is also very clearly mentioned how it is to be done. And as everybody knows that it is a Sharia legal system, and also it is originated from the civil legal system, which is back to originated from the French legal side. Whereas in the colonial side, the British and Indians, as we are following the common law, and gradually UAEs also have adopted it to use the common law system also in DAC, Dubai, the Financial Center, and ADGM. That means apart from the local laws, we can also avail the common law system in the UAE. This is also one of the unique system. Along with the civil and Sharia system, we are eligible, or we are getting an opportunity to use a common law system as well. And the courts, the main, if there is any dispute coming to my discussion is mainly focusing on the recovery of money and the cash flow and the financial matters. So it is mainly based on the collection or the recovery of the money. Mostly there are several forums of dispute resolution. One of them is courts and the conciliation forum. If the consumer has any problem, they can approach the consumer dispute forum. Rental issues, they have another issue, and also we have different arbitration forum, as everybody know. And coming to the litigation side, mostly there are, as usual, the Arabic language is the official language in the court, and we have to submit all the documents, and we have to pay some of the charges, court fee, expert fee, online charges, etc., etc. It is also part of the litigation. And coming to the difference between or the economic facts in the debt collection and the legal action. In the debt collection process, mostly the client will pay only after collection. But in the legal process, the clients may have to give the advance cost and fees to some extent. The legal system here is also more effective, and there is action against the lawbreakers and against debtors. They will, once the legal action starts as a precautionary or after the execution part, they can attach the properties, and wherever they have, it's a landed property or a leased property or a vehicle or any other movable properties, they can attach and sell them and realize the debts. And along with that, if there is any debtor, and immediately we can put a travel ban, and without fleeing back to their home country, and we can block them from traveling the country. And likewise, all the government transaction will be blocked. And if they want to change the ownership of a vehicle, to do some other government transaction, and all the matters, even processing the visa, all the matters will be blocked due to a legal action. And obviously, there is an arrest order in some of the cases. So basically, there is a good legal system to control the lawbreakers and including the debtors. And the court is also different level, and we are starting from the first instance, and then coming to the appeal court, and finally it will go to the execution court to execute the judgment and realize the money from the opposite party or the defendant. Another important thing I want to highlight here, recently there is a treaty between India and UAE for judicial cooperation. But it has been, India, UAE was not a notified territory as per the Civil Procedure Code of India. So there was some hurdles to execute a UAE judgment, even though there was a treaty between India. And recently it has been notified, and a judgment from India can easily execute in India. Likewise, if any judgment in India is also, we can execute in UAE as well. And we can even not only in the civil cases, criminal case extradition matters also there. We can transfer the accused in a case from one nation to the other on the basis of the bilateral judicial treaty. And this is all about the legal system I want to highlight, because I want to sum up that part. The financial matters is mainly affecting because of the accumulation of debts in the UAE right now. Along with, and to some extent, the cost and other matters we have mentioned. And coming to some of the matters, I want to highlight to conclude the matter of the news discussion, and personal legal matters as well. If there is any default from a part of a customer to the financial institution, obviously there is an agreement between the parties, bank, the creditor and debtor. They will immediately take an action. Mostly there will be check. They will be initiating the bouncing the check, and once the check is bounced, it is a crime like in India, and they will immediately move a criminal action. Once the criminal action is start in motion, and the arrest order and travel ban will come to play. So there is an immediate action will be taken by the banks or the financial institution against the personal debts. And consequently, once even though the criminal action is over by payment of fine or observing some small period in the jail, their liability will not wiped out. That's a very important thing. The check bounce is only a crime. The case has been filed with the police or the criminal court only for the criminal liability. Their liability with the bank is not wiped out. So, in order to recover the amount, the banks will file the civil cases. Again, the next step of action against the personal defaulters will start there. Once the civil action starts, and they will immediately put another travel ban, even though there was a travel ban in the criminal side. So without clearing the liability or settling the debts with the bank, they cannot fly back. This is the whole scenario about the personal debts as well. And coming to the other scenario also, we have to look into the matter, and since it is the financial matters and all. And incorporation of business is also one of the another remedy or to make some income for the expatriates in the UAE. So incorporation can be in different way, different structures, legal structures, including a solo worker can open a company. The steps are very easy. Within 2-3 hours in some Emirates, we can open a company, even without a local sponsor. The protection of the investment is also protected by the government in several ways. And there are two type of companies mainly, the mainland company and the free zone company. Even though in the territory of UAE itself, they are forming different free zones. The free zones is having a separate legal structure, and it is basically it is considered as a not part of the territory, or though it is controlled by the federal laws. So that without a local sponsor, we can incorporate a company and do all the activities an entrepreneur want to start. The free zone gives more power and 100% ownership to the attraction to the investors, and it creates more investors coming to form the company in the free zones. And another legal structure, 100% investment. Now, recently, the government has given a very vast opportunity, open 100% investment by an expatriate in certain areas. Usually, before, if somebody want to open a company, especially a small, except some small activities, all the activities should be supported by the help of incorporation can be supported by the help of a local sponsor. Now it has been changed to some extent. That means the government is giving a vast opportunity to the expatriate and other people to come to play. This is also to some extent due to the financial conditions, what exactly we are going through. And it is giving more opening and opportunities to the jobless people. They can also invest in a single investment or a solo establishment, and even a freelance license by paying 500 dirhams or Indian rupee 10,000 INR is equivalent to open a freelance license. By this license, government is giving an opportunity to do their activity as well as, and they can obtain a visa. And moreover, the dependent and the family members are also get sponsorship through this one. So basically, they are also supporting the big and large corporates, small and even jobless people to if they are a professional and all. And second one, now the government has announced the golden visa to some of the categories of the people to retain the maximum caliber people here. And also giving some the golden visa to some of the dignitaries from different fields, especially doctors and some businessmen in some categories. And today it has been happened, and the two actors of Mohanlal and Mammootty got the golden visa. Now it is circulating in the social media as well. So this is the way in which it is very friendly for open and doing business in any form, any way an entrepreneur want to do. This is the basic thing I want to highlight, and this is all about my presentation to give an idea about the financial problem what we are facing, how it can be resolved by opening a company, to if their job loss, and if there is an issue, how we can resolve by a legal action and all. Thank you so much, Mr. Akram, for providing this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Advocate Sabu.
Yeah,
The quite comprehensive presentation. Indeed, this shows the kind of challenges, legal challenges that individuals or Indian companies or foreign companies face there, but also the kind of legal solution approach they can take. Your presentation very elaborately describes that what kind of legal route can Indian companies or Indian individuals can follow to get out of the trouble or problem. So that's a very nice thing. And also the way you presented that Dubai is a land of opportunities with the kind of ease of doing business opportunities, registration opportunities and other opportunities that are available. I'm sure with a huge number of Indian expatriates, I think Indians are more feeling home out there than being foreigners. So now I'll come to the concluding remarks part of it. So I'll request Dinesh ji to kindly any closing remarks or any message you have for our viewers.
Thank you, Akramji. You asked about all the legal parts, everything explained by Advocate Sabu. It's very much informative, I hope. As even this golden visa, I forgot to mention that also. Even golden visa, the government is providing for students also, you know that. For the students also they're giving. Yeah, bright students also can apply for the golden visa. So from that students, the students' visas, so it's included the package, like their parents, they can sponsor. So this is a new offer the government given, very attractive. So like that, the government is supporting pretty much for the expatriates for working, so to make them their working environment comfortably, and also for the SMEs and new startup people. Same time, so as again, I'm coming to the matter, the people facing the finance struggles. So now the expo is likely to start from 1st of October. The expo is supposed to start. So before that, most of the companies are in action now. So many companies closed down and many stopped activities, everything. But now the UAE is alive, not like before. Everyone is getting prepared for the expo coming up. So based on that, I also expect that the more people will be coming to the country, and also those who face many losses and bad impacts in their stability, economic stability, and all, they also can come back to the the field again. So only a small hurdle is remaining, which is the immediate debt in front of you. So how to sort out that? Once you sort out that hurdle, then the field is open for them. So for that, better if someone facing, if any of our viewers or people watching this, and if anyone facing this kind of issues, even almost similar like all the Middle East countries, the rules are almost similar, I believe. And we can clarify from Dr. Sir. So almost similar. And somebody having this kind of hurdle, a huge debt in front of you, and they don't know what to do and how to handle it. So people like us, maybe some others also there in the field. So get an advice from experts. There'll be a solution. Where there's a will, there's a way. So if you are facing something like this, so find out a solution with an advice from an expert. So our people are always 24/7 available to give advice to the people. There is no charge for that, for the advices. So if there is any solution, any services, chargeable services needed, that comes later. And also it'll be very helpful, for people those who are stuck back in India. They cannot travel. There are a lot of people, they are travel banned. So they don't know how to handle it. And they lost the job. They are in India with the family, and there is no source of income. They are getting calls, and even the agents coming back their home and disturbing. So all these pressures, for a common man, it's not that easy to handle. Even many of the expatriates, those who are working in the Middle East, are here for many years, and they don't have any roots for again find a job there, and again do something their own. Also, it's very competitive in India. We know that. We also know many people experience that. Then again they came back to the Middle East. So for them also, what we say, always you search for an advice from an expert to solve. So there are solutions. If you have problems, definitely there are solutions. So I always motivate people like this. So they can also, anytime contact us also for an advice to how to handle it and solve it. Okay, this is what I feel to say. If you have any questions, maybe I can again say something, and also maybe Advocate Sab also can.
I'll take the, I'll request now Advocate Sabu sir to kindly give the final. Any closing message or closing remarks for our viewers? Yeah, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, basically, if it is related to the debts, to manage the debt, it is the first solution. And since it is one of the personal, the instrument that we use, the credit card, it is a friendly document. But if we use wisely, it is a greater friend than a person. But if we breach some of the payment, it will be a double-edged weapon. They can fight criminally as well as civil. This is one of the action. But as our name A to Z, we can, and all the service providers related to us can provide the solution. The solution can be different type. It can be a solution, a social solution. That is the embassy and the community organization here is a very vast number of organizations here on region wise to help the people in different angles. Even if they have no money, they will even pool the small amount we are also in the society to help the people. That is not an issue. A single man cannot help them to all the matters. But when it is coming to a group, they can jointly help deserving people. The second one, and is a legal solution. Legal solution, it is also one of the, before coming to a legal solution, they can also experience a pre-legal solution also on advisory part, as well as a negotiation part with the bank. That also, as Dinesh discussed, they can help. There is a separate department exclusively for the personal debts division. He is working with us to help them to, before they jumping to a legal action, ask our people to settle the matter. Otherwise, mostly they have to face the two legal action. One is the criminal side, once the check is bounced, and also they will file a civil cases. And the legal solution is also there. In the worst scenario, we can use the legal solution to defend the matter. But related to the legal solution, it is also sometimes if the documents are perfect with the plaintiff or the creditor, it will be very weak case to have a defense in this regard. So it is, I conclude that prevention is better than cure. Don't go for any legal action to some extent, though I am also, if somebody go to the legal, then only professionally I will get gain. But it is also a message when I am coming to this forum, giving a message to the people who are deserving to this matter. Prevention is better than cure. Do the maximum management of your debts, and in the personal or career or in the business side.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Advocate Sahu and Dineshji, for sharing your time and sharing your views on our platform. So as I will not repeat further, Dineshji has very elaborately said that, yeah, if you have any problem, come, we have a solution. We'll try to find a solution together. So Advocate Sahu very nicely said that though through this platform we don't want to scare you, but prevention is always better than cure. So if you can manage your finance, that is good, well. But if you're in trouble, then let us help you. So I think with this, we will close this discussion. So viewers, this was a show a little different and exclusive, especially for our overseas Indians or anyone traveling abroad. So we have this kind of organizations. If you face any challenge, we do have organizations who can help them out. And this is how they help. So thank you. Keep watching.